Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us for another episode of 411 Pop Culture, where real people talk about really everything. I'm Justin, and this is Danielle, and we are about to watch for the first time Flowers in the Attic, The Origin, Part 2. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We, by the way, have had so many comments and likes and subscribers from this, and we just really appreciate it. I love going out there and searching Flowers in the Attic VC Andrews communities, but it's so awesome to have this community here that I can go and see all these comments every day, and we can talk and chat and see everybody's favorite moments and theories and just so many things. Your Maiden had pointed out something. Now, we're obviously big fans of the 1987 version. As you can see, I'm wearing my 87 Flowers in the Attic shirt right now. And I've really come to love the Lifetime adaptations, but this one will always be my favorite. And Your Maiden had said that she's been watching this like a prequel to the 87 movie, and I just love that idea. I think
I
it's
really
really
did
cool.
too.
Yeah.
I think when you told me about the comment, I thought, oh my gosh, I think I am viewing it that way too, because for me, I've only watched the first one of the old adaptation of the Lifetime series once.
Yeah.
You've seen it a few more times,
Yeah.
so in my head, 87 always sticks out first.
Absolutely.
So,
and I really have come to enjoy the Lifetime adaptations. In hindsight, at the time I was greedy and I wanted them right away. As soon as Flowers in the Attic came out, I'm like, oh, I hope they'll do Petals on the Wind, and it came out right away, and it couldn't come fast enough. In hindsight now, I do wish it had been like how this has been set up, where it's a mini-series. They're really able to explore everything. I don't mind new characters being added, because it looks like they're not removing any characters and hitting all those plot points, which is so important, and it makes all the difference. So we're gonna not keep you any further suspense. As always, if you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe, but we'll get started right now with Part 2.
I really like that shot of the house.
I really am so excited to watch this.
Me too. Curious where they're going to take the story now. Because like you said, we're almost through most of the first part of the book.
Well, it looks like they're going to kind of, this is going to be all the Alicia in the attic part of it. And,
And then, on his stepmother.
Christopher! I was just going to say it.
And forsake the parents in me. But now I was back in control, and I was.
So she's getting ready to leave and then come back.
Yep.
In case you haven't already noticed, that we also suffer a loss.
Malcolm looks real happy.
I'm saddened to say that Mrs. Garland Foxworth will be leaving us to set up a new for welcoming my late husband and myself. We wouldn't want you to miss your trip.
What a jerk.
Yep. God, it really does look like I would imagine it looked back then.
Yeah. The Flowers in the Attic, Petals on the Wind, they all kind of describe, Foxworth Hall being at the end of this really grand cul-de-sac. But in Garden of Shadows, it was more of there's this long road like that and all. And I saw a picture of Olivia with some scissors, so she's gonna cut her hair off.
I'm gonna say that room almost seems more of what it was in the book, because when I always think of the 87 movie, when I read the book, I think of what that room looks like. But I think that's really more of what it might have looked like.
Maybe.
You get the money from Garland's estate.
I was kind of going around in my head too. I don't know. I feel like maybe it was lighter like it was in the 87 movie in the book. But when I read the book, even if she says something like that, this is probably a little bit more how I do imagine it.
Right, like when you're reading it.
Yeah.
Because this one looks more of like a statelier room.
Sure.
But the one in the 87 movie was just very
the north wing was supposed to be part of the original house, I guess.
Yeah.
So it would have been older.
Yeah.
And all that.
And this poor girl, I guess I never really thought about it until just now. I mean, she's just lost her husband. She's getting raped. Now she's pregnant. Now she's locked in this room.
Yeah.
And then having to give up her baby nonetheless.
Well, it's, you know, very fairy tale-esque, the gothic sort of
Yeah.
stories, but on a more real basis, at least, you know, the kids had each other to talk to. She's isolated.
Yes.
Because if I remember correctly, Alicia does start to go a little nutty up there, too,
Oh, I'm
you
sure.
know, and it would be because of that isolation.
Yeah.
But then again, goose down is a poor substitute for a fertile.
What a
I'm not
jerk.
always a poor substitute for masculinity.
Mm.
If your plan fails, and something happens to my daughter, it won't. And it might be a boy.
Hmm.
The baby. You're so glad that I always get what I want. No matter what.
I like the southern accent on him.
I do, too.
I
yeah.
guess I never thought of Malcolm maybe having
Yeah.
an accent, but I love that.
No, for sure.
I think it works for sure.
I do wish I meant to say this in the first part. We had seen a little bit more of Malcolm's like adultery, cheating, because he was like always like
Yeah.
like even at the first engagement party they had or the first Christmas party, something she caught him like in a room with some
Yeah.
girl from town that was judging her. So it made her even more, you know, Olivia-esque,
Mm-hmm.
grandmother-esque.
Yeah.
But we didn't really see that. I'm guessing, like I said, the whole Celia subplot is going to be related to that.
Oh, right, yeah.
But it would have been nice to have seen that too. Just his character. It was more foreshadowing to what he was going to do to Alicia.
Right.
Christopher.
And we're finally getting to see the
Yeah.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know you was with your mommy. You went to sleep with me tonight, but that make you feel better.
Yeah, because she does get a super
Mm-hmm.
deep connection
Oh,
with him.
yeah.
But we didn't get to see like I said, the kids in the first episode we were really missing. We didn't get to see them up in the attic having school.
Right.
You know.
Well, maybe
And-
this is be what some
Well,
of
I'm
it
hoping,
is.
but they won't be able to do it while Alicia's up there.
Yeah.
Because they had to like cancel all the classes, which was something she was excited about, Olivia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Malcolm.
I'm telling you, something isn't right. Did you hear those noises coming from the east wind last night? It sounded like somebody crying.
It's the North Wing.
I heard it in the first episode, and I'm like, I thought
Oh,
it
I
was the
didn't hear
North
it.
Wing.
See, and that's probably why I thought it was Corinne's bedroom where we were being led to.
Right. And yes, that's true, too.
Later today to discuss some changes to our produce order.
Surely I can consult.
Not that I know what wing the Swan room was in, but
Right.
it definitely was like not North Wing. though.
I'm sure some of our fans can comment for us
Yeah,
to set
right.
us straight.
Termination is effective immediately.
Ha! Bye-bye.
Well, I guess you should have been a little bit more nice to your boss.
Right? Good for you, Olivia.
That's Red, though. She's going to cause some trouble about this.
Oh, maybe not.
Well, maybe not put a stink here, but I'm sure there's going to be some trouble.
True. And perhaps this is the one happy result of his death. Goodbye, Mrs. Steiner.
Oh, Olivia. Yeah, I like that she's being rewarded.
Yep.
For at least, like, she's always been kind to Olivia, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Understand. Yes, ma'am. One thing before you go.
I love it.
I
always,
love
It
it.
was always something in the novels that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't really brought up until Petals on the Wind, and it was a big part of Garden of Shadows. Scissors.
Please get one of
Maybe this scene is where they kind of, the 87 movie incorporated Kathy getting her hair cut.
Oh,
rather
I'm
than
sure.
something.
That book, Garden of Shadows, was written right then.
Right.
And, yeah. Oh, I've always kind of thought that. Yeah.
Have you?
Oh,
I've
I
just
think
thought of it
I
now.
think you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
But I know a way to stop him.
Meaning the scene where Kathy gets her hair
Yes.
cut by, and it's been incorporated in each version. I mean, there was always in the novel she needed to cut a little bit of her hair off, but it's always been
It's hard.
so dramatic. And obviously for like a horror movie-esque
Yeah.
feel, it's going to be a nice visual way. But yeah, no, I've always kind of thought Garden of Shadows inspired that.
Well, this poor girl.
Right? She did that too, I think,
Yeah.
in the book. Yeah. because it was never confirmed in the book if he did go up to visit her, but
Right.
Olivia suspected it, and then because Alicia was going a little bit crazy at that point, so she
Right.
wasn't 100% sure if
Something strange is going on up there. Because whatever it is, it's probably
it's just one of those things. Lifetime really, the East Wing. Why are you fixated on East Wing? Like, north.
Right. Hey, they've gotten a lot more right this
They
time
have,
around.
but how do you get
I
that?
know.
Like, the North Wing.
She's different.
Letter to Westmoreland Sanatorium. All about my poor, sad, deluded wife.
Well, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
Child.
It definitely sets him up, you know, as a force, you know,
Yeah.
a formidable foe.
Yep.
Psychosis.
They would never believe you. Alicia will never let you raise the baby alone.
Alicia might not have a saying about it. We all know how dangerous childbirth can be.
Oh, perhaps you've forgotten one tiny bit of information. You killed your father and raped your stepmother. Been with the authorities.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
hello, but
Yeah.
You can feel like you can control all you want. Privacy. How is this sad? The South.
well, that's awful. I like it though. I like giving him a little bit
Yeah.
more like
Because he was.
awful,
Yes.
and we've seen some of it. That's an image,
Yeah.
and we've seen it somewhat in the first part, but this just
Yeah.
elevates like maybe a little bit more the campier aspects of what Lifetime did with like
Mhm.
Corinne, Heather Graham's character. You know, she definitely amped it up, and that definitely lends
Yeah.
itself to that. Because I came to really enjoy how Heather Graham. At first, I couldn't stand it, but I really enjoy how she
Mhm.
interpreted it. Oh, well, there
There
we
it
go.
is.
Yeah. And I love the whole 20s look and everything. Like,
Of course you can, my love. I'm not the enemy here. Malcolm is. Don't play innocent. This
Her
scheme's
hair
on
looks
your
cute
idea.
like that.
Yes, to save our family, to protect the Foxworth name for our sons. I don't believe you. I saw the way that you looked at Christopher. I know you want more children.
Right.
I know you can't help
like it was supposed to be more dramatically short. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Just as
that's,
much as
you
he
know,
does.
gonna do anything.
Is that what you think of me? Are you alright?
Oh!
Ooh. Oh no.
Well, this is all different.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it though.
I know it's gonna upset some of you out there, but I'm kind of enjoying it.
I am
like,
enjoying it.
oh
No.
boy, I mean, not bad.
No,
you know,
no,
not
no,
that,
yeah.
not, you know, with the thrill.
Yeah. Well, and maybe this is how like Malcolm comes to then more respect Olivia because he knows
Well,
he
I think
needs
it's
her.
supposed to
Yeah.
unite them. Yeah, exactly.
You're taking back yourself.
I followed you. Now, if you want to save this baby, you need to stop threatening me and start listening.
I'm like, it just shows how selfish they both are. Like, she's lying there and they're arguing about
Yeah.
their reputation
I will handle that. I'll call the
and control. I mean, I really don't know how I feel about this. Like, I love it for film and for the thrill of it right now, but it really does change the whole Alicia's dynamic up there, and
She's you. Now, Alicia, it's me. Olivia, we're here to help you. So keeping me a prisoner here.
She's worse than you said.
Ever since Carmen died, she's been slimming what's in her mind. She even did that to her own hair. There's what they're lying. You have to believe me. You have to believe me. She... No, please, no.
All right.
See, you haven't gotten that far in The Handmaid's Tale, but this is something right out of Handmaid's Tale right now. So it's very, I know people are going to have issues with this, but it's very relevant to contemporary, things going on, and
Yeah.
I think it's, horrifying to watch, but I think it's good that they're adding this sort of the ways in which women can be oppressed
But it appears you did
is
the right
never
thing.
ending.
Right.
An ankle will make it difficult to care for Alicia. I'm going to offer help, but I know how you like to maintain control.
Hypocrite.
Right.
It's my life. Not if you don't eat. When something happens to that baby of yours, you'll be lucky to still have a life once Mr. Foxworth gets through with you.
Mm-hmm.
You think I don't know what he does? The only thing that
Maybe
hasn't
those
had
are what
me
the scars on
worried
their
is my
faces.
Celia.
I think so.
Be paying for us woman. And they'll go thinking it's charity. It's nothing of the sort.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Foxworth is my Celia's father.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
Malcolm.
He did the same thing to me that he did to you.
Trying to do the calculation of ages in my head. I mean, he would have been really young.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Maybe they were teenagers.
Yeah, I
or
don't even know if that would match up.
She's working for him. You can make it a few more months in this.
I mean, based on their ages, yeah, he would have had a bit. Like, they're probably about 36 now, 35. So I guess depending on how old that girl is.
I think we should. Maybe the daughter's like 14 or 15. She's just
she's
tall.
very tall, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say even if she's about supposed to be 16, I'd give 16, 17.
Yeah.
Because being a mother is
And if he was, 17, be about 34.
It's time.
And they've been there for about 4 years. So when Olivia first got there, that girl would have only been about 13,
Right,
12.
right.
So yeah, I guess it is possible. Barely.
So it's close call.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're already at this point too. Like I said, things go so much
Yeah.
faster than I thought. I thought the whole movie was going to be
Yeah.
her pretty much up there, Olivia with the kids. Again, they keep glossing over the kids so quickly. But I guess it's good if we're going to get a lot of story out of it, I guess. Yeah, I'm stunned that we're here already.
Yeah.
Olivia's lost her damn mind.
Yeah.
Don't forget who they are.
I mean, I do like Alicia in this.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne said at the beginning of Flowers in the Attic in the book,
Why you still
he always loved his mother, which they still kept for the adaptation.
Yeah.
But she went into a little more detail in the book about just, he always said his mother was like the strongest woman he knew. And she really is strong,
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he loved Kathy so much. Kathy reminded so much, which is also what, Olivia had some issues with.
Well, and now it's like he did have a daughter. You think they're using some form of the times and maybe race is involved in that? How he kind of didn't acknowledge that.
Oh,
daughter?
yeah, you're right.
Because that's why she's probably
you're
so
right.
upset.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
everything about her is perfect.
Mm.
Station in life would normally allow I earned my job
Ooh.
and my promotion. All this time, I was operating under the gross misapprehension that we were friends.
I missed you so very much, Christopher. You're not my mommy.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
See, in the book, she just kind of whisked her away, and Olivia was
Yeah.
pissed about that, but
I know.
Oh, wow.
that was
That was
fast.
fast.
But 15 years only made them worse.
I do like that they went with like the Heather Graham look,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for continuity.
Thank you. Birthday. My father and I are so proud.
Is that Christopher?
The young woman
No, I
she's
think it's
become.
Malcolm.
So,
No.
Mal.
Oh.
Or Joel.
The brothers,
Although I've only seen, there we go, Joel
Mal,
and Mal.
his
Oh,
fiancée,
that's Mal.
Ella. Please.
I don't remember him
join
having a
us
fiance.
wishing Corinne a very special day. To Corinne. Happy birthday to you.
That's Joel.
Yeah.
Your family is always pleasant to me now.
That's because they're not your family yet.
I don't know. I feel like they should be reversed. I feel like the guy who's Joel looks more how I would imagine Mal to look,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Like,
Just dance. Please.
She did have a pretty happy childhood growing up in the book.
Corinne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, in Garden of Shadows, according
Yes.
to her in Flowers the Attic, she had the just worst time.
Well, yeah, and then we found that.
I guess, you know, and that's what our theory videos are about. There's always,
Yeah.
you know, there's this story, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what's great about V.C. Andrews' novels being told in the first person. It sort of emphasizes that point that unreliable narrators and so forth.
I want to know if Corinne was making me a bill.
No, is he gay? Are they going to go with that
I think
sort of
that's
thing?
what's happening.
Ellen's ex-fiancé.
Well, he was very effeminate, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was suspicious. No, his dad already made him vice president.
Everything was perfect.
I would have liked to have seen, though, more of with the kids, you
Yeah.
know, just, you know, that was such a big part of it. Like, I'm happy that we're already here, I guess, so it just only says how much
Mhm.
more we're going to get, but I would have liked to have seen more
Right.
with, like, them as a family growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more gift.
Oh,
Is it a Tatterton toy?
I was just thinking that.
My beautiful baby. The trusts your father's
We did have some comments that, you know, they felt she was too old at first. She sounds right, looks right, but she's too old. But I think that's why, for these moments here, you know,
Yeah.
she definitely looks older now,
Mhm.
but, you know, it helps with the flow.
I know
Yeah.
it can be difficult.
To have had her cast, you know, maybe in her, I don't know how old the actress is, but I'm guessing in
Yeah.
her 30s,
Because I feel like Malcolm.
look younger.
Yes,
Yeah.
but now he doesn't. He looks like a kid with
Right,
braids.
Whereas she, yes, exactly.
Yes.
And she flawlessly blends into that older
Mhm.
age.
I have you. A mother's work is never done.
Or a grandmother.
Yeah, right.
Surprised Corinne's not in the Swan Room.
She never, I don't think she ever got to be. Or
Okay.
she fought for it at one point. It was like the one thing he wouldn't,
Mm.
you know. She may have remember, because when she got back to Foxworth Hall, she said, I guess they finally thought I was bad enough to get this room now.
Oh, okay.
Your father loves your family. Why did you marry Daddy?
In Petals on the Wind, that Lifetime adaptation, you know, she kind of asked her, she's like, why couldn't you ever love me? Why couldn't you? It looks like there was a lot of love, so I don't know why she would have said that, because even in the novels, they never one way or another confirm it, or, you know, some, you know, whatever. But for the adaptation, she clearly said that, which was sort of out of place. But it is contradictory now to this, because this is showing such a loving moment,
Before you know it,
which I don't know how I feel about it, because
once on a path.
she
Well-
did love her, but
Well, that, but maybe things happen later on where Corinne can only remember those bad things. And
Maybe.
you know how kids are. They forget
Yeah.
all the good before, something
True.
like that, after something bad
True.
happens. So,
All I want is for you to enjoy your youth. Go to college.
But this is why I would have liked more of the young years, because I just
Yeah.
feel like once Corinne became a teenager, there was like this disconnect between
Yeah.
them. And so I wish that's why I wish they showed young, because I'm not feeling this so much right now. I mean, it's sweet and
I'm
nice.
enjoying
and
it.
perfect. No?
we feel differently about it because it shows you that Olivia did have Corinne's best intentions, but again, there was so much jealousy because Malcolm treated her kids like crap. So
Right. And that's what I guess I want to
that's where
see.
and
because she did love her, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least according to Garden of Shadows. But I do wish we would see more of that, I guess.
Well, maybe we'll see more when Christopher comes back.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I guess that's why I'm worried, because I want it to be a natural, you know, sort of transition.
Yeah.
Like she's already sort of has some issues, it compounds them, as opposed to she has no issues, and then all of a sudden, bam, she has issues.
Right. This wasn't in the book, was it?
I don't think so. But I was just thinking, as she said that, like, maybe it's more of a reference, like a metaphor to, like, Flowers in the Attic, Garden of Shadows.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah. Good point. Good point.
And I think, I'm not sure, but I do feel like I remember Olivia kind of gardening a lot in the novel, so...
Such a creeper.
Creeper. Which I guess they have to emphasize in this adaptation. Like, I don't remember him being incestuous so much with Corinne, but I do, you know, it's always implied, it's subtext, so they have to amp it up in this.
To make it more obvious.
Right.
Because we're not reading.
How many dresses do you need?
Walk back.
Really?
What?
You could have just told me you were killing time until another boy showed up.
Get out of there. Mom's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun!
And I like that too. Like, I like the relationship.
Yes.
You know, like, we get to see a little bit more with her brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is that boy he likes.
Yeah, bringing
This
in the
fella.
gay element.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
I
fella.
mean, because, wasn't he effeminate in the book?
Yeah,
But
he was always described
There
as
was kind of like an
feminine.
implication there when you read it, but...
No, I like that they're taking this approach with it. Similar to what we just said, amplifying a little bit.
Yep. That and giving us more backstory, a little bit more context.
Well, you know, that was one big thing about Seeds of Yesterday, the adaptation I was really disappointed with, was I love the character of Joel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't, you know, he's awful or whatever, but, you know, Joel was such a big part of that. I hated that they took it out. I mean, we have some stuff to say about that in a future episode theory video.
Right.
But
what we won't be talking about in that episode is his pants are way too high.
Oh my gosh, right. I was just about to say something about that. I think it's this, you know, it's obviously the style, but they're definitely hiked up quite a bit.
But yeah, I can't imagine this Joel being the Joel in Seeds of Yesterday.
Which is going to be the focal point of that episode.
Yes.
However, it was such a great, you know, that story, Seeds of Yesterday, one of the most interesting aspects. It's not like losing Paul from Petals on the Wind, the adaptation. You know, you kind of needed Joel, or at least that character. Yeah. And anyway, though, I'm glad we're getting to see all this with him, too.
And if you think about if There Be Thorns, they had, like, John Amos as kind of like the person in Bart's ear.
Right.
So they had to kind of continue that.
For
so
sure,
Bart could really, truly evolve.
Absolutely.
Because he still had that influence.
Absolutely.
Mother insisted on it. Had it been up to me, we were getting nothing at all. Please.
He is a good Malcolm, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is unbecoming of a man. I think you should leave. Embarrass yourself any further.
It just, again, goes to show you the difference between his relationship with the boys versus Corinne.
Yeah. Oh, she's going to be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Look at her.
Oh, Corinne. I don't know, I'm just trying to recall the book, like, with his relationship with Malcolm.
Yeah, I feel like he was okay with Mal, but Mal, you know, Olivia and Mal were definitely super close. Because that's what's different about this adaptation, is that, she's going to be in trouble.
There we go.
Ever again. Or any boy, for that matter.
But he's invited me to a dance next week. All my friends are going.
Yeah, the difference in this is that he always wanted a daughter, you know, whereas he really did want a son at first.
Yeah.
You're too young to be going to dances, and you're almost certainly too young to be spreading all
She is a great Corinne.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, really how I would picture her.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't need to meet him. I already know him. He's a boy.
It's just how I would picture her.
Only want one thing.
But Daddy.
No, enough.
I see the way you look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
Ouch.
Jealous of her own daughter's beauty.
That was a low blow.
One thing with me.
Jealous. I'm scared. I'm scared of how her beauty could entice certain men, the wrong men.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why she needs experience with them. So she doesn't just say yes to the first man who comes along and proposes.
Nice.
That is nice. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're mistaken, Emma.
Oh, he is a good Malcolm.
He really
so
is.
awful.
You're not so different after all.
You know, he's got that handsomeness, but that he's evil.
Yeah.
He's just really good.
No, he's got it down.
Yeah.
And she's doing just as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as last episode.
Be so strict. I'm gonna be the only girl in town not at that dance. My life is over. I know.
Yeah, she is a good Corinne.
She really is.
He's the only man in my life. Go. Really? But Daddy said your father doesn't need to know. It'll be our secret.
See, I don't know if she would let, like, I just, that's what I was kind
Yeah.
of saying earlier. I just don't know if I would think Olivia would let her go. Like,
I don't think she'd go against Malcolm's wishes.
because in the book, she was, Corinne, and that's, again, the difference between Flowers of the Attic versus Garden of Shadows and the contradictory natures, is that Corinne discussed how she was always, they were always brought up very religious, the
Right.
boys, her, and in Garden of Shadows, which is how they're doing it with this,
Right.
the religion didn't come in until much later,
Right.
but she, they were always very religious. I just don't feel like,
Men only.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pregnant.
Ooh,
Now that did not happen in the book.
no, that's different.
So, you mean? What are we going to do? We're not in this alone. There is something. It may be our only option.
She taking her back to that place where Malcolm was at.
Yep. Because she had the baby.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You the one wanting this
Well,
season?
again, bringing in current events
Hmm.
into the adaptation.
Yeah,
I definitely don't like this story for the adaptation, but I
Right.
understand it.
yeah. I feel like most adaptations, even of books that are older, etc., they're always kind of affected by contemporary influences. Like when the film is made,
Right.
always plays a factor. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I really care for this twist.
Mhm.
But I also can understand why they're doing it based on the current events of this world.
Yep.
Because, yeah, it was just like the period was the big thing. And
Yeah.
that was a similar thing about Flowers of the Attic and Garden of Shadows. It was done differently in both, but it was always just about the period, not abortions and birth and getting pregnant.
You pretend that didn't just happen. This is between you and me. Everywhere else, with everyone else.
See, it's just giving them such a closer relationship, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
So did I. Do you understand?
Because I feel like in the books, Corinne was very, very much a daddy's girl and
Right.
did not have this type of relationship with Olivia.
Right.
Like, she would have to come to her for certain things, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like this.
And I just don't think Olivia would necessarily react so supportively.
Right. I think she would have went to Malcolm about it.
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, uh-oh.
That's not good.
Oh, no.
I really do love that house.
No. Yeah, I don't think he's going to let them get away with that.
Yeah. I think he'll cause a scene.
Hmm.
Just a little tired, honey.
Be Malcolm-like.
I was
True.
up late. Reading. Mine was about...
Enough. I will not be lied to the to.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes. Uh-oh. They're both in for it now.
Dear, take our daughter to that place. Yeah, that is right.
For the family.
I know what is best for this family.
It's all about control.
Yep. Why is he so upset, though?
all these cool.
Right. Like, I don't think he would want her to have it.
Right.
I guess just about the power, the control of the situation.
Yeah.
Or you what? Can't you see she suffered enough already?
Well, it's definitely a reoccurring theme, keeping family members locked up if they're
Yeah.
part of the Foxworth
Well,
plan.
It was not your decision to make.
So yeah, it's all about control.
mhm.
I mean, I'm sure he's disappointed thinking of his little girl becoming a woman,
Yeah.
etc., but it's about the control.
None of your hand is well.
Did they argue with each other in front of the kids in the book? I feel like they did.
I'm sure here and there, but nothing to this extent.
Right.
Uh-oh.
That can't be good.
That's the dream. Just get out of
Oh,
here.
maybe this is similar to bringing kind of the abortion thing in. This is
Right.
really bringing that gay element now,
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like.
Y'all all look a lot different, man. I saw you take a lunch break.
That's his, like, half-sister right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure your mother likes me very much. My mama died when I was 3. She was my stepmother. It's pretty
Oh,
obvious.
for a second there where they said mother, I thought, oh, and they're going to take another incest
Right.
angle, sneak one in.
You can't
I was thinking the ages didn't make sense, but
Right.
well, now they're bringing
Some
the plot
more,
element.
yeah.
Given as I now housebound for the rest of my adult life.
Yeah, I can't believe it's
Well,
all just because
You know, I mean, that's really what Malcolm wanted
Yeah.
for her, you know.
That's excessive.
She's going to do the same things to her children.
She is a good Corinne,
Do
though.
you think there's any chance you'll get your trust early?
You started without me?
Hmm. I am enjoying seeing this. You know, when I'm reading Flowers in the Attic, the novel, one of my favorite moments is when Corinne is telling the story about her growing up
Yeah.
and her brothers, and I always wanted more. And even
Mhm.
though this is like invented stuff, I am enjoying seeing that more.
Yeah.
The relationship between these
Absolutely.
siblings, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors in town for years.
Oh.
Mm.
Because you always have your head stuck in the piano.
Hmm.
Never noticed the resemblance.
I think you're a flipping genius.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mal.
I do enjoy it. I really am
Right.
enjoying
Yeah.
seeing these siblings.
And unless you want Mother to know as well, I suggest you do as I say. I like the sight of you.
Oh, he doesn't know.
So,
Yeah.
I'll
It's
have
such a
He's
white
met
man
his-
thing. White men always being like, "Oh, well, if you treat me like dirt, then you're showing me you're a real man now." What a joke!
Why are you calling her?
Oh, he's so awful. So awful.
Like, nobody can threaten Malcolm.
Yeah, right.
Son, why access to your trust? So, be a man.
And I like too that it's setting up how Malcolm is so controlling about the money and
Yeah.
would be willing to remove one kid from a will, one from another.
Yep.
Hopefully, this adaptation will finally be the lifetime adaptation that clarifies that Corinne would be disinherited if it's ever found out about the kids.
Yeah.
That never was covered in any of the lifetime adaptations. It was
Why do you
Right.
the most important thing.
like that?
Now, it's fine, though. We'll have
A dead body to get access to that money. We shall be so lucky.
Ooh.
He is a good Malcolm, though. He's good. So is she, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like that they're keeping this, you know.
Yeah.
She, despite how we're feeling about her relationship with Corinne in this, she was always,
Mhm.
it was you know, nobody ever debated it. She loved her
Yes.
boys.
You will always treat your wife and children. I know that Malcolm is Celia's father.
Mm.
Mhm.
Why didn't you ever tell me? Tell my employer that her husband is the father of my daughter.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I could believe that she would have gone through with all that with Alicia and then for Mr. Foxworth, basically,
Yeah.
for Malcolm.
Despite everything,
Or not
I
in full
still
Olivia at that
consider you-
time.
Right.
I know. It makes sense. Why you were so upset. Is that how you got
Yeah.
the scars?
That was a long time
There
ago.
we
I'm
go.
interesting to see how she got those cards, but also I just because of that I don't. Olivia might not have asked her, but I just don't know if I believe this woman would have done that, for
Right.
them.
Well, because obviously Celia is a new character. None of this was in the book.
Well, yeah.
There's someone here who wants to see you.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for you.
I mean, I think Olivia would go and want to meet her, but I don't know if I could see her giving her a hug like that.
I don't think she would have.
Creeper.
Oh, Malcolm, big creeper.
Definitely a creeper.
Yep.
But that's more, I guess. Again, I don't remember him ever. Well, maybe it was John Amos, which we haven't seen this whole time.
Yeah.
John Amos was always the one spying on her. It looks like they're kind of shifting that a little.
Yeah.
To emphasize the sort of unhealthy relationship he has with his daughter.
Right.
Back to the garden. The Garden of Shadows.
Right.
Just gonna stop him. Is she planning on poisoning him?
Seems like it.
Well, that's different. I don't know if I believe she would ever do anything like that, though.
No.
It is. Harry did an excellent job with it. Who?
Uh-oh.
Celia's stepson?
Awkward. I am loving this,
Seriously,
though.
I like the tension, too.
Yeah.
Like, getting to see these moments.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's true. Like, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm
True Corinne fashion right there.
Well, it looks like she did. I don't know if I believe that she ever would, though, but
I don't know.
I guess we'll see how this plays out.
Well, maybe they had to add something like this because of the Celia twist, maybe.
Yeah. Just to show, too, again, the more, like, Olivia versus Malcolm of this series.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, maybe this is what led to him having his... Maybe this led to him having his first stroke.
Let's see what happens.
Why he ends up in a wheelchair and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, in the novels, it's because of... No, because even in Flowers in the Attic, they say that the reason why he had his first stroke was when he found out about Christopher and Corinne.
Certainly no need to.
Of course they can't kill him off.
Well, sure, but I'm having mixed emotions about all that.
Yeah.
How did you find out about the poison garden?
Well, so she didn't do it. And, wow, that is very Corinne. Okay, I kind of like it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little prelude to the poisoning that Corinne would do. See, exactly, that's what I was having an issue with. Because I'm like, she see, the grandchildren, she was like, she tried to warn them about the poison.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I love how Olivia knows everything.
Yeah,
So.
I do kind of like this twist, though.
Yeah. This fits more in with the character.
Of Corinne,
yes.
You poisoned your father so you could go to a party. With Rockford, I thought you learned your lesson.
Just wanted it out of it.
Okay.
Just long enough so we could go out and Daddy's got me locked up here.
It's all coming together now. Their relationship, everything. I see now what they were planning.
Yep.
Please. Please don't tell me.
Well, and it stays true to the fact of Corinne, if he had this isn't his first stroke and all that, but it clearly has, like, weakened him for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So it still stays in line, too, with it would be Corinne's fault.
Yep.
You can't be like him. It was a mistake, I swear.
And I like the poetic justice of the daughter he always wanted would be the one that ends up trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Poisoning. Again, it's so different than the novel, but I do kind of like it, I think. I'm okay with that kind of a change.
He's awake.
Well, and of course, he's probably not going to believe that Corinne was the one that did it.
What happened? Hey, what he's been talking about is getting his hands on this precious trust, which would be a hell of a lot easier if I wasn't around to stop him.
Well, here's a twist.
Doctor, we appreciate your discretion.
Of course.
Mr. Foxworth, glad to see you're feeling better.
I just wanted to come check in on
Hello,
Brian.
handsome.
This family operates underneath very specific set of rules.
I'm so nervous right
I
now.
am too.
Well, I make it. You won't be able to get
Is he gonna do something reprehensible?
Ooh.
Oh my god. Maybe this is where he dies.
That's exactly what I think.
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
That was truly low of Malcolm.
Where did you get this?
That's the poison.
Oh no.
Let's help you.
No.
I'm fine. It's Mal. Poison from the garden. He thought it was something smoke. Mal. Mal.
Oh no. Just little goosebumps. Sad.
Yeah. That was intense.
Yeah.
Like I said, it still hit all the right points in such a different way.
Yeah.
And, maybe sick to my stomach what Malcolm did, and then
Yeah.
sad, so sad.
It's still Malcolm's fault.
Right.
Corinne had the poison because of him.
Right. But it's so Corinne too to poison and it not lead to the results
Yeah.
she hopes. Oh, it's interesting.
I'm not minding that twist. I think they simplified it for TV too.
Right. So much of it is internal for Olivia.
Yeah.
They have to
Yes.
Our son is dead because of you. You hid that garden from me. You dragged Corinne into all of this mess. I'm so
Well, I can see how this would have changed Olivia. Turned to God and
Yeah.
stopped fighting Malcolm.
You will be used the freedom that I gave.
Still, it's frustrating because it's his fault.
Yeah.
You will respect me. You're ashamed of yourself.
I'm glad to see a little bit of feeling from him about the Malcolm situation.
Control of anything.
The Mal dying.
Seeing who with it?
Malcolm's reaction to losing Mal. Like, he's
But
obviously...
it's his fault.
It is, but he's still upset about it.
She had returned. And with her the fire had been lit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because she never returned
Yeah.
in the books.
Time until we all went up and
Series continues.
Everything you worked so hard to build will come to pieces.
Twisted family ties. Hang on. It never happened yet. Begin to unravel.
Mm.
That's why
Oh my.
Oh,
everything that you touch turns to ash.
Looking good.
good.
All right, so what did you think, Danielle?
I am loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've had some of our concerns about certain plot changes, but overall, I am really loving it.
Me too.
I even with the changes, they're still kind of tying it in, and they're really trying to bring together. Like I said, a lot of it was internalized by Olivia.
Yeah.
So I like that they've had to change a little bit, but it still really holds true to most of the story.
I think that's a good point too. Like what you said, a lot of it is internalized by Olivia, so they really do have to like push it out with these like changes. I will say I don't feel as like excited as I did after watching part one. I feel like this one was a little bit more subdued. I liked, even though the grandmother is the grandmother, by the end of part one, we were very much like, oh, there she is, so exciting. This one, and Garden of Shadows is a sad story.
Yeah.
And V.C. Andrews novels in general can be kind of sad, can be kind of depressing to read. And so I think I'm feeling that right now. But I'm just as excited in general. And after watching the preview for next week, I can't wait to see it. Yeah. I think we have to I feel like people get sensitive about adaptations and changes, and if there's any changes, when you are going from one medium to another, from literature, novels to film, TV, there's changes that are just going to have to be made. And I'm always like, as long as we get, the essence of the story, the main points, and I feel like so far this has been very detailed. There have been these changes, but so far everything I've wanted from it has happened, and I feel like that's the most we can ever ask for. Yeah. But overall, I'm liking the addition of Celia and Joel with his fellow there and all that. I think that's very interesting. There's certain stuff, I don't know. I get what we were talking about, the contemporizing of certain ideas, abortion, gay rights, etc. I do actually like the Joel with the gay storyline, but I don't know how I feel about the abortion storyline with Corinne, only because it really does change the way you look at Olivia. And I don't know that she would have ever gone with that. But with Corinne, with the poison, I kind of really liked that. Yeah. At first I was like, what? I don't know. But I really like that. And it also shows that she had it in her to poison exactly. So it ties that. I like that's an interesting development, that she's willing to kind of hurt her family members to get what she wants. Yeah. I think that was kind of a clever addition to Lifetime. I feel like people are going to have a knee-jerk reaction to that at first, like, oh, that's so not what happened. But those changes sometimes are good, and I think that's a good change. Yeah, I mean, when we thought it was Olivia, we were hating it. Yes, but exactly. The Corinne change, it definitely made it much more interesting and fascinating to kind of see that pattern from Corinne, too. So, and I'm excited that we're going to see more of Alicia, it looks like, coming up. Because I felt like that went so quickly. I really thought part 2 was going to be like Olivia with the young kids and Alicia locked up in the attic for most of it. Yeah. Not the whole thing, but certainly not like just the first third. However, I'm enjoying it. I think there's a lot of good stuff. But was there anything else you wanted to kind of bring up about it? I've said it all during the viewing. I think you can see my reactions. So too. Yeah. But what did you all think about it? Let us know. Please keep commenting. I'm loving that everybody's had such a positive reaction to our take on it, but as well as the adaptation itself. Please comment below. Let us know what you're thinking. Did you like the changes? Or would you wish that there were less of the changes? I'm enjoying most of them so far. Anyway, we can't wait to watch the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what you're seeing, like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.
John Amos